Welcome everyone. So today we're looking at capturing results with H5P on WordPress. What we're going to look at is how does H5P track the results and how does it record them, and we're also going to go over plugins that can help us better capture H5P activity results. So I'll start with this thing here. With your H5P module on the left side, you have some options. You have all H5P content. These are all your modules. Add new to add a new activity or new module. Libraries, this is a library of all the modules. And the last one is what we're looking at, is my results, this option here. If I click on my results, I will have a list of all of the activities that I have completed and what results I got out of them. So for example, you can see this right here, June 23rd. This is today. I completed a single choice set and I got a 0 out of 3. That is the maximum result. And I spent about 20 seconds completing it, and it gives me the open and the finish time. So just to show you, for example, I'm going back to the same activity. This is still the single choice set. I got 0 out of 3. I got 0 out of 3. I'm gonna do it again and I will show you the score being updated here. So what is the closest planet to Earth? I got that correct, so I got 1 out of 3. I got 2 out of 3. And I've got 3 out of 3. So I'm gonna go back to my results and let me refresh that. I don't have to have this open, but the score has already been recorded. So I'll refresh that. And now it tells me that I got 3 out of 3 on this activity. So a few problems with capturing results this way. One of the main problems is that first, there isn't a lot of information to go by. So I just know the activity, it goes by the name, and then I got the score. The second, and probably more importantly, is that this way of capturing results only captures results for yourself. So me as an admin right here, it's only capturing the activities that I do as an admin, the activities that I do on my account. So if I have other users on my website and they do complete some activities, this will not record them. So this is what you need to know. My results literally mean just my results, not anyone else's results, not any other users on the website's results. So I'll show you this as well. So I'm gonna go in as a different user now to show you what I mean more clearly. Okay, so this is me as a different user on the same website, and you can see here that is a test user. His name is Jim Jones. When I go to H5P, I have two options, and I don't have any options for WordPress because this user is just a subscriber. It's a normal user, no administrator privileges. So I'll go to my results, and you can see my results are totally different from the other user. It's only logging my result as Jim Jones, the user, not an admin user. And you can see that I completed a drag and drop images, and I got 0 out of 3. It's got the time and it's got the date. So the problem with this is that it doesn't really show me what everyone's doing. It only shows me what I'm doing. It only captures my results. So even me as an admin with all the privileges, I still don't get to see other people's activities. So luckily there is a way to capture all the activities on the exercises or on the H5P content that you produce. And what you need to do is you need to go to your plugins and you want to add a new plugin. So in the add new plugin section, what you want to type is just want to type H5P, and it's going to look through all the plugins that have H5P in them, and this is the one we're interested in here. It's called SNORDIAN's H5P xAPI Katchu. Really long name, but this is what we're using to capture all of those activities. And you want to install it, and you want to add, and we have it here now, and it's activated. So we have it already activated, and it says here catches and stores xAPI statements sent by H5P. So xAPI is the protocol for, I think it used to be called Tin Can, but now is xAPI. There's also SCORM. These are just ways of capturing activities, user activities. They're usually used by educational software to track and monitor student learning and student progress. So now that we have this installed here and it's activated already, there are two places where you can find settings and options for this module. So the first one is within the settings. So if you go into settings, you'll find a new item here, H5P xAPI Katchu. You can click on it and it'll take you to the settings for this module. And you've got your basic settings here. Store complete statements. So this stores statements as JSON. You don't really need this unless you're using maybe some type of app or you're trying to connect this somewhere. This is more for developers and programmers to connect the data they're collecting. What we're just using CSV, so like Excel data. It's simpler. Display xAPI statements in JavaScript debug console. So this is more for debugging purposes. And capture everything. Right now we have it checked as capture everything. If we uncheck this, you see these options become available to check or uncheck. But this is basically asking which modules do you want to capture information for. So we'll just set capture everything. So this will capture, it will track and capture everything for all of these modules here that we have created. So this is the name that you give them, and this is the actual module name. So these are all of the activities I have created with H5P for all of my tutorials. In the next option is the visible columns. What type of information do you want to collect? As you can see, it goes all the way from actor ID until H5P subcontent ID. So all of this content will be collected. Realistically, you probably don't need all of them, but I will keep them all just to show you what kind of data it will capture. So I'll keep them all checked. So this is the setting. These are the settings for this plugin. Selecting what you want to capture for what module and some general settings. The second place where you can find your results is on the left side. If you go down, you'll find this new item here, h5p xAPI Katchu. If you click on it, this will have all of the captured data. So right now there is no XAPI information stored. Let's try this now. So I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna refresh just in case this page is not updated. Okay, so now I've got the same module that I tried before. Let's go through these and let's get 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. First one, Venus. Got that wrong. Second one, 1.3. Third one, 6. Okay, I'm done. Let's come back here. So we are still on this page for our new plugin. We're gonna refresh and see if we captured any data. All right, so we've got actually a lot of data. So this is just for one activity. We've got all of this data here. Well, great, that's good. So let's go through briefly what this is about. So actor ID, that is the email of the user. So you can see my email here, not a real email. Actor name, this is my username, and my username is admin. You can see it in the top right here, admin. So we've got the email, we've got the username. This is already more than the results gives us. We've got verb ID, not sure what that is. We have the object ID, that is the permalink for the activity that was finished. If you come here, 19 single choice set. You've got the definition name, single choice set. Description, no description. Choice, no choice. Response, no response. Results, no results. So just so that you're familiar, this last row here is the latest row, is the last completed action. The first completed action would be at the bottom. So this was the first completed action here. This was the first thing we did with the activity. So it's got nothing. It's got the time when the action was done. We've got the user ID. So my user ID for the admin is 1. And we've got the content ID. So the content ID for this activity is 41. So you know exactly which one it is. And also you can see starting here on the third action, you have the description. That is the question, and the question was, what is the closest planet to Earth? You have the options, that is the choices. So we had 3 choices. 0 was Mercury, 1 was Venus, 2 was the moon. And what I chose Mercury. Okay, sorry. So the correct response is 0. The correct response is Mercury. That is the correct response. The next is the result response. Next is the correct response. Next, we have the choices, and in the choices we had 0 Mercury, 1 was Venus, and 2 was the moon. And in the next column, the correct response says the correct response is 0, the correct response is Mercury. Result response, that's the option I chose. I chose 1, I chose Venus. And result score, because I chose 1, I didn't choose the 0. my score is 0, and the result score is 0. So the raw score is actually how many points, and the result score is kind of divided or added up to fit in within the whole activity. Result completion 1, result success 0, was not successful, and you've got the rest of the information. And then we got another action, and then we have the second question here, and then the second question, the correct answer was 0. I answered 0, therefore I got 1. The resulting score is 1, and completed, result success 1 for completing it. And then we get another single choice, and this what happens in that. Again, I answered it correctly, and the last, or the first line, which was the last action we did, is basically the results. This could be the most interesting if you're just looking for the results and you don't care about how we got to this point. So it says result score 2. I got 2 out of 3. If you remember, that is the raw score, and that is 66% or 0.66. So it's counting it as a percentage. Completion 1, so I completed it. Resulting success is 0, I assume, because I didn't get 3 out of 3. And finally you got the result duration, how long it took to finish this. So this is all of the information that is available. What you can do is at the bottom you've got some filters. Say for the actor name, for the username, you have a lot of users. You click here, it'll show you all the users that are in this field, kind of like an Excel filter, if you ever use Excel filters. And then you choose, so say I had admin and another person. When I click on admin, it will only show me the results for admin. If I click on something else, it shows me the something else. Okay, so you see I've captured the results for my activity. Now I want to show you something else. I'm going to log in with a different user, complete another activity, and see if it shows up for me here for the admin account. Okay, so this is my other account, and in this account I've got a test user. His name is Jim Jones and the username is test1, and I've got this drag and drop. Let's try it out and see if it shows up in the results. So let's get, we can't get that. We'll get Italy, we'll get France, and then Egypt. We're gonna get 1 out of 3, and we're gonna say check, 1 out of 3. Okay, so that's 1 out of 3, that's fine. Let's come back to our admin. You can see this is the admin account, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna refresh this and see if we got the results for the other user. There you go. So now we've got admin, and then we've got Jim Jones. So we have the emails, we've got the name or the username, we've got some more information, the verb ID, which I'm not sure, object ID as well, and we see now that it is a drag and drop activity. And the results, the raw score, we got 2 out of 2. Let's see. No, this is the single choice. So the results here, this was the first move, and it didn't record anything, didn't record anything, didn't record anything. didn't record anything, but these are all things that we did. So this could have been me moving the picture into the first, the words into the first picture, the words into the second picture, the word into the third picture, and then maybe this was me clicking on the check button. And the last step gives me the results. So the correct response, so it's got here some type of matching that's going on. This is how I answered. So the first one should have been a 0. I put a 1, which was wrong. Second one was a 3. I put a 3. 4, 4, 2, 2, and then 5, 1. I have to spend more time reading this to understand what's going on, but I know that it tracked everything and it gave me my result. I got 1 out of 3. The percentage, which is 33%. Completion, yes, I completed it. Success, not a success, and I've got the time here. And you can see here the user ID. So this user's ID is user 2, not this guy, but the other one. The test is user 2, and the content ID for the activity that I finished, the drag and drop, is 7. So I know exactly which activity it was. So now I've got the data for 2 people. Let's see if this works here. So you see now I've got Jim Jones and I've got admin. If I click admin, only admin shows up. But if I just want to check Jim Jones, what did they do today? I can see what they did today. I can see if they completed any activities today. If they did, I can check their scores, what they got, how long they spent doing these activities. A lot of good information. And this isn't just for names. You can check by email. You can check by the type of activity that was done. You can check by scores, who got 100% today, and you can see all of them. You can have multiple filters. So admin and all of the 100% that admin got today, and it shows you the rows where I got 1, or the result score was 1. So you can do multiple filters on the same table. If you're not happy working on WordPress, what you can do is you can download it. So this downloads all of this data as an Excel, and you can work with it using Excel. Also, you have this option here to show or hide columns. So if you don't want to see the actor ID, what you can do is, now the actor ID is gone. It's not shown anymore. Okay, so I've got this file. I'll quickly show you what this file looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like on Excel. So if you open it through Excel, you'll get the same, exactly the same data, but in an Excel sheet. And now you can just run all types of filters or macros, or you can just save it, keep the records. Exactly the same content, but in a CSV format. So that is basically it. And as we saw, it tracks all users. So this way you can capture all the information for any activity, any user that you want. That is the best way to capture that data so far. I haven't found any other way. You might be intimidated by some of these headers over here, but a lot of these headers you don't really need. You probably are interested in the ones near the end there and in the beginning. So you could go back to the settings and go back to this module settings, and you can select or deselect any of the stuff that you want to capture or not capture. So that is it. that's how you can capture the data from the activities that you create on H5P. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, any comments, anything that I missed, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time.